Today we get quizzing on the Rig Veda, the La Liga, and the Beatles. Hello and welcome once again to yet another edition of Gone in 60 Seconds, the general quiz for both quizzers and non-quizzers wherein we ask some of our simple and favorite questions in a timeless and classical way. The competition involves 24 questions split across 4 rounds of 6 questions each on various topics under the sun. You will all have 60 seconds to answer each and every question. There are no negatives whatsoever throughout the entire quiz, so feel free to guess. You get 2 points if you are the first to answer correctly, and if you come second or third, you get 1 point each. There are 2 guesses allowed for every question. There is a slow mode of 20 seconds enabled in the chat window. Small variations of spellings and phrases are okay. You don't have to be exactly correct with the order of the phrases or the spellings. Last names will also do unless stated otherwise. There is also an online leaderboard for you to track and check your scores as this quiz is happening. The link for that is bit.ly/curiously. It's a fun quiz on a weekend. Don't Google, don't be evil. And lastly, as Douglas Adams says, don't panic. So 24 questions split across 4 rounds of 6 questions each. Here comes the first round. It is called Panini, Martini, and a fortune cookie. These are all questions on food, beverages, and desserts. So 6 questions on the topic of food, beverages, and desserts coming up. What word referring to the entire plant kingdom finds its mention in the Rig Veda as a golden, bright-hued deity presiding over the forest with 1,000 branches known for the well-being of human existence, as well as for the cure for various diseases from trees and plants that generate and regenerate through his blessings? Alright, time is up. So the clue in this question was, since it's a food, beverages, and a round on desserts, what could the name of the deity also be with a food item? Okay, let's see what the answer is. So how many of you thought of forest and looked upon the translation that one in Hindi means forest and Pati means a god or a deity? So the right answer is indeed Vanaspati. I see guesses such as fauna, Dhanvantri, Kalp, Vriksh, and so on. Unfortunately, no right answers for the first question. So bad miss by everyone. Let's move on to the second question. The community have traditionally been vegetarians, but since trade had them crisscrossing across the subcontinent, Non-vegetarian influences became entrenched in their food habits after they established several businesses in Ceylon, Burma, the Dutch East Indies, French Indochina, and what is now Malaysia and Singapore. Contrary to popular belief, their dishes are not very spicy, but they do include sun-dried ingredients since they hail from a hot and tropical region. What is their cuisine called? That refers to the name of their community and their land. Alright, time is up. I guess most of you all made up for the miss in the previous question. All guesses point towards just one answer, and all of you have indeed gotten it absolutely correct. The answer is indeed Chettinad. Let me just go to the answer slide. So it is indeed the Chettinad cuisine named after the Chettiars of Tamil Nadu. So Praneeth gets it first. He says Chettiar. Okay, by the time Praneeth mentions Chettinad, three other people have already mentioned Chettinad. Unfortunate Praneeth. Sadly, Adhish gets 2 points on this. Srinivas and Chitij come second and third with 1 point each. Moving on, third question. Due to the rather rounded shape of these keyboards, by what bite-sized name are they known as? Alright, time is up. Let's see what the answer is. And the right answer indeed is a chiclet keyboard. So the keys should remind you of those small rounded chewing gum, which was a part of, I guess, most of our childhoods. So these are called indeed chiclet keyboards. So from the number of guesses, I see ladies' washroom getting it first, followed by Srinivas Ramlal Putta getting it second, and Vikram Ravi coming in third. So 2 points to ladies' washroom, 1 point to Srinivas, and 1 point to Vikram. Moving on, question 3. Which branded product was the first to include such hollow plastic balls inside its packaging with a small orifice allowing for a more smoother and creamier taste at the luxury of one's home? So the answer is something a little more specific, which is what I'm looking for. If the answer is Maggie 4 pack, I want 4 pack also into it. All right. So time is up. Let's see what the answer is. So these are balls which are actually found in beer cans, and specifically of they were first specifically introduced in a Guinness beer can. So this is essentially to solve the problem of foaming whenever you open a can of beer and it foams out, creating in a very messy experience. So to solve this, these round balls are called widgets, and Guinness specifically calls them smoothie fires. So the small hole releases the gas as you slowly pour, allowing for a more creamier and smoother taste. So no right answers on this one as well. Let's move on to the next question. What Indian chef, actress, writer, and television personality, known for having popularized Indian dishes to the west, was married to the actor on the left and is the mother of the actress on the right? Alright, time is up. Let's see what the right answer is. And it is indeed Madhur Jaffrey. Here you see her along with Shami Kapoor in the movie Shakespeare Wala. And the right answer was given first by Adhish, followed by Rashmi, and Ladies Washroom, not Masaba Gupta. Deepak Chandel comes in third. You get 1 point, Deepak. Rashmi, you get one more point. And the first is Adhish, who gets 2 points on this question. So well done, all three of you. Let's move on to the last question of the first round. Largely similar, except for one noticeable difference. By what two related names are these French sandwiches called? And time is up. Let's see what the right answer is. So on the right side, you see the sandwich with an egg, and on the left, it's a sandwich without the egg. And so that is why the left is called a monsieur, which is French for Mister, and a croque monsieur with an egg is called a croque madame, which is French for Mrs. So Adhish gets it first. Well done. Very nice answer. You get 2 points for that. And you are the only one to have that right. So great answer, Adhish. So with that, we come to the end of the first round. Let's have a look at the scores. So currently leading the quiz is Adhish with 6 points, followed by Ladis with two. Srinivas is also at two, and Kshitij and Deepak, you are at one each. Still early days, we have three more rounds to go. So here comes the second round of this quiz. Here's the second round called Irony Alert. These are all questions on irony. Six questions on ironical facts across various topics coming up. Ironically, what was started by US President Abraham Lincoln on the same day as he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth at the Ford Theater in Washington, D.C. And time is up. Let's have a look at the answer. So, having been murdered by John Wilkes Booth, it was ironically the same day when Abraham Lincoln footed a proposal for the United States Secret Service. So, Kshitij is the first one to get it correct. The right answer, what I was looking for, was the USSS, or the United States Secret Service. So, 2 points to you, Kshitij, on that lovely answer. Let's move on to the next question. Having evolved from specifically constructed hills of ice of over 100 feet, they were popular in the city of St. Petersburg during the 1600s. What modern day activity would you be partaking in, along with around 20 to 50 people, if you were on a Russian mountain? The irony is that despite having originated from Russia, they have a rather different name in their own country. So there are multiple hills of ice. So it's like the activity includes climbing up and down several hills of ice, and it is usually done along with 20 to 50 people together. So let's see what the answer is. The right answer is actually roller coasters. So the roller coasters were called Russian mountains in European countries since it came from Russia. Ironically, in Russia, the roller coasters are called American mountains. So that is the funda behind this question. No right answers on this one. Let's quickly move on to the third question. Belonging to the order Santateles, which parasitic plant's ability to survive and retain its color throughout winter is ironically the reason for its special status. It also plays a critical role in supporting the wildlife that exists in the ecosystem by serving as a source of food during the harsh season. Alright, time is up. Let's have a look at the answer. Some of the guesses by you all were lichens, an Xmas tree, and mollusks and moss. So I must say, Praneeth, you are the closest to the answer. The Xmas tree, although is not parasitic, the right answer is a mistletoe. So mistletoes are parasitic plants that belong to the order Santateles, which has the name Santa in it as well. So although they are parasitic, during the season they serve as a source of food for birds and other animals around the same habitat. Again, no right answers for this one. So let's go on to the next question. Founded in 1897, the European Football Club, named after the Roman goddess of eternal youth and vigor, are also known ironically by what two-word nickname? Okay, time is up. And a flurry of right answers for this one. This is indeed Juventus, who are named after the Roman goddess of youth and vigor. And ironically, their nickname is called Old Lady. So the right answer was given first by Bibin, followed by Adhish, and Manoj comes in third. So a lot of you got this correct. Well cracked by all of you. Let's move on to the fifth question of the round on irony. Despite having lived less than 100 miles apart, the closest they ever came to meeting was at a gathering organized by the European Motor Car Association, where they both were invited as the guests of honor. They were both fierce rivals who constantly fought over the title of the inventor of the modern automobile. And ironically, though, today both their names are mentioned in the same breath after the merger of their companies. Name both these individuals. Alright, time is up. And the right answer is indeed Gottlieb Daimler of Daimler and Carl Benz of Benz. So Benz and Daimler were bitter rivals back in the day, but after Daimler expired and Benz was too old to care, both their companies merged together and formed Daimler Benz, also known as Daimler Chrysler later on, and is today just known as Daimler AG. So Vikas is the first to get it right, followed by Joel, and ladies' washroom is the third to get it correct. So 2 points to you, Vikas. Joel and ladies, you get 1 point each. Found from southern China to eastern India and as far south as Indonesia, which animal considered to be the smallest member of the family Ursidae takes their name from the golden patch on their chest and are ironically nocturnal? Let's see what the right answer is. The right answer is the sun bear. So the patch which you see on the chest of it is apparently supposed to depict a rising sun. So which is why it is called a sun bear. And ironically, sun bears are nocturnal. None of you getting the question right, so I'll get to keep the points on this one, and we move on to the leaderboard. So still leading the quiz is Adhish with 7 points. Kshitij moves up to second spot with 3 points along with Ladis. Bibin and Srinivas are in close third with 2 points each. 2 rounds done. We have 2 more rounds left. So here comes the third round of the quiz, which is called Three's Company. So these are all questions on words or phrases which occur in threes. So if it is a question about, let's say, Matthew McConaughey's iconic phrase first mentioned in the movie Dazed and Confused, the answer would be all right, all right, all right. So if you had to answer that, you can just give me all right. You don't have to type it out completely. You can just mention the word which has been repeated thrice. So 6 questions on words and phrases repeated in 3 times coming up. Which popular dance takes its name from the sound made by one's feet as it frisks the surface of the floor during a quick shuffle? A production company by these three acclaimed directors also share the same name. And time is up. Lot of correct answers on
One,
this one. The
two,
answer indeed
three,
is
cha
what?
cha. One
The
and
dance form
two
Cha
and
Cha
three
Cha.
and cha cha.
So the three directors in the image were Alfonso Cuarón, Guillermo del Toro, and Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu. So the three of them also have a production company called Cha Cha Cha. So good answers by everyone. Praneeth is the first to get it. Praneeth, you get 2 points. Deepak Chandel and Rashmi Biswas mentioned the full name as Cha 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 and pick up 1 point each. Moving on to the second question. What phrase used as a substitute for actual words or anecdotes when they are too lengthy or too tedious to recite in full is the title of this book on the popular TV show Seinfeld? Alright, time is up. Let's see what the right answer is. And lots of Seinfeld fans, and all of you get it absolutely right. This is indeed Yada Yada Yada. So Yada would fetch you points. The first to get this was Deepita Keshari. Very well done. 2 points to you for that answer. Followed by Joel and Vikram. Vikram comes in third. And so Joel and Vikram, both of you get one more point. Moving on to the third question. On learning the title for an upcoming movie in the 1980s, a friend of the director B.R. Chopra suggested, Chopra Saab, there's a problem. I won't be able to go home and ask my wife to watch the film because when she asks what film I'm asking her to watch, and if I tell her the name of the film, she'll get a heart attack. Seeing the issue the title could very well cause, Chopra changed the title of the film to Nikah, which was also one of the core angles of the film. What was it previously titled? Okay, time is up. Uh, well done, all of you. Whoever answered before the question was completely revealed. Uh, a lot of right answers. I did not foresee this to be a very straightforward and such an easy question. But hey, what do I know? So, all of you who got it right, a huge pat in the back for you for getting this question before it was even read out. So, the answer indeed is the movie Talak Talak Talak. So, B.R. Chopra changed it to Nika to avoid any problems as his friend suggested. Moving on, I have a follow up question on this for absolutely no points. So, feel free to take a guess. Yeah, before that, so who gets this one first? Bibin gets it first, followed by Joel, and Manoj comes in third. So 2 points to you, Bibin. Joel and Manoj, you get one more point. So here comes the follow-up question. Being a social commentary on the Sharia laws of divorce and its misuse upon women in the Indian Muslim society, with what three-word phrase does the movie start? An idea that was later used by B.R. Chopra in another popular work of his a few years later. So if it is Main Samay Hoon, what would it be for the movie Nikah, which deals on the laws of divorce and its misuse upon women in the Indian Muslim society? Okay, so let's see what the answer is.
मैं औरत हूँ।
मैं समय हूं।
And in the nick of time, Joel does get it correct. Yes, Joel, this is indeed Main Aurat Hoon, used in the movie Nikah. And 6 years later, when Mahabharat aired, the first lines you everyone got to hear was Main Samay Hoon. So good crack, Joel, on this. And we again get back to business with questions which offer you points. And here is the next question of the round. What sporting chant originated in the United Kingdom for football and rugby matches before traveling to the other side of the globe, while making its way into sporting events such as Olympics, the Cricket World Cup, World Series of Poker, along with other non sporting events as well? And time is up. Let's see what the right answer is. Unfortunately, though, all of you went on the other angle of Ole Ole Ole. The right answer is Aussie Aussie Aussie, which you would find common to everything related to Australia. So the right answer was Aussie Aussie Aussie. Oi oi oi. No right answers on this one. All of you, although said Ole Ole Ole, that is apparently not what I was looking for. Yeah, I hate to disappoint you all. Moving on to the next question. Excerpt from an interview with Sir Paul McCartney explaining the background and inspiration behind one of the songs by the Beatles. We weren't on vacation, we were in Rishikesh studying meditation while Maharishi. We used to go to the clubs late at night, drink, dance, and maybe have a little food. And there was a friend of mine who I befriended in the clubs. He was an African guy and we used to jive together. And he used to say blank blank. It means one must continue to live a normal life despite its ups and downs. What words that were also used by the music director duo of Nadeem Shravan in a song featuring Shah Rukh Khan? So the repetition in this question is not in the name of the Beatles song, it is in the song of Shah Rukh Khan. So I ideally want you to name the Beatles song, or if you could give me how it is mentioned in the Shah Rukh Khan song will also do. And time is up. Let's see what the right answer is. And the right answer indeed is Obladi, Oblada, Obladu, which was added as an extra to the song Meri Mehbooba from the movie Pardes. So brilliant answer by Adhish, Ladies Washroom, and that is it. I see very few guesses, so 2 points to Adhish, and Ladies Washroom gets one more point. Moving on to the last question of this round. He was to be named Caleb by his mother, but his father had other plans and named him blank 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 as a gag, passing up on other lesser substitutes that included words such as drum or C sharp. Once he joined the army during the World War II, he was quickly promoted by the computer and IBM machine with a sense of humor almost as keen as his father. So, who is this person? All right, time is up. So, the name of the person is from a famous literary novel. All three words in the blanks are the same. So, as a joke, his father named him as the same with the same three words. And he also considered that to have a lesser name by not including the same three words and by including one of the words as drum or C sharp. And as a joke, once he joined the army, the computer promoted him to a certain rank, which is also one of those three words. So ultimately, his name became four words where all the four words are the same word. So let's see what the answer is. Indeed, indeed, Adhish, this is Major, Major, Major from the novel Catch 22. So the other options which he considered was a drum major. A drum major, as you see on the image on the left, is the person who leads a marching band. And a C sharp major is one of those popular notes in music. So the right answer was Major, Major, Major from Joseph Heller's uh, popular best-selling novel Catch 22. So unfortunately, no right answers in the stipulated time. Let's move on. And that brings us to the end of the round. Let's move on to the leaderboard. Still going strong at the first place is Adhish with 9 points. Bibin and Ladis are at 4 points each. Kshitij and Joel are at third position with 3 points. So still could be anybody's game. There are 6 more questions left in this round, and here comes the last round of the quiz. So here's the last round of the quiz, and no points for guessing what the last round would be. It is indeed a round called List of Lists, which, as people who have been attending our quizzes by now know, so this is a round based on different types of lists. So the answer would be in the form of a list, like let's say a list of trophies won by Roger Federer or Rafael Nadal. So you can just give me the keywords to fetch you points. So with that, let's move on to the last 6 questions of this quiz coming up. What exhaustive list do the countries in red and orange belong to? So it is on the map, you would see 3 sets of countries. The countries in blue have 1, countries in orange are from 2 to 4, and countries in red are from 5 to 12. And time is up. Let's see what the right answer is. And the answer indeed is these are countries which have more than one time zone. So France has 12 time zones, Russia has 11, followed by USA also, which has 11. So brilliantly cracked first by Joel, who gets 2 points for that answer. Bibin and Manan come second and third with 1 point each. Moving on to the second question. To which list that runs over 900 pages long and updated every year do these words and phrases belong to? Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, Angutha Chap, Bad Man, Badmashi, Bandicoot, so on and so on. And it also has words such as Hitler, Mussolini, Idi Amin, Ravan, etc. All right, time is up. Let's see what the right answer is. And this is indeed as cracked by Vikas. These are the unparliamentary words in India. What you saw was the list of words that cannot be spoken in an Indian parliament. This was recently in news earlier this year because it was the second instance when a person's record was deleted, when a person's remarks was deleted from record because of mentioning certain unparliamentary words. So very well answered because you get 2 points for that answer. As we move on to the third question of this round. Adding a word to these would give you a list of various types of what object? It is something which exists in every household and every person has at least one in some form. Adding a word to these would give you a list of various types of what object. Okay, let's see what the answer is. And the right answer is these are all various types of cameras. Let's go back. So you have a box camera, a plate camera, a pocket camera, a traffic camera, a bridge camera, a brownie camera, and a nanny camera. So the first was a plate camera, which basically used photography plates to capture images. Then you had cameras which were made out of cardboard boxes, such as a pinhole camera. But box cameras were slightly more sophisticated. Although they were made with cardboard boxes. Uh, Specific kinds of box cameras are called brownie cameras, which were very famously was one of the most famous products by the company Kodak. A nanny camera is a spy camera which is very popularly used to spy on a nanny or a babysitter. A bridge camera is a camera which is between a point and shoot and a DSLR camera. So it basically has features of both these types of cameras to help a hobbyist progress from a point and shoot to a DSLR. And you have pocket cameras, which are small miniature sized cameras which are easily portable and could be taken on various trips. And last but not least, there is a traffic camera. So yeah, so on the image you see a plate camera on the left, a bridge camera which is a mix of both a point and shoot and a DSLR is on in the middle on the top. A pocket camera is below that, and a box or a brownie camera is what you see on the right. Okay, no right answers. Moving on to the next question. Sequentially, which actor would come next for a role in a war drama film? And time is up. Let's see what the right answer is. And as first mentioned by Vishesh and Joel, these are all actors who have portrayed Winston Churchill on the screen. So the last person was Gary Oldman in 2017, which he won the Best Actor Oscar award for his role. The other persons on the slide were Brian Cox, who also played Gary Oldman in a 2017 film. So 2017 had two films, both biopics on Gary Oldman. Before that, you had John Lithgow, who was in the TV show The Crown, and Timothy Spall was another actor who has played Winston Churchill, and he played Winston Churchill in the movie The King's Speech, another Oscar award-winning movie. So well done, Vishesh and Joel. 2 points for you. 2 points for you, Vishesh, for getting it first, and Joel, you get one more point. And let's have a look at the scores one last time before I reveal the last two questions of this quiz. So Adhish is first currently with 9 points. Joel is in close second with 6 points. Bibin is third with five. Laddie's Washroom and Vikas are at 4 points each. So last two questions coming up on your screens. Here goes. What two related lists are these sets of objects a part of? So you have two objects in the first list and you have six more objects in the second list. They are somehow related. Just tell me what is unique about all these eight items. And time is up. Very few guesses. So only three guesses, unfortunately. Four guesses, okay, with Rashmi. Vikram says patented brand names. Ladies Washroom says generic products. Vijit Mishra says royal and Rashmi says bomb. So let's see what the right answer is. So Ladies Washroom, you are indeed correct. They are generic products. I will accept Vikram your answer as well. I guess you meant copyrighted or trademarked names. So these are indeed trademark names which are used as generic products. So the difference between the two lists are the first two which you saw are no longer trademarks which are owned by the companies. They have now been genericized. And the remaining are actual trademarks used by the companies. So let's go back. You have a teleprompter, which is owned by the teleprompter corporation, followed by a flip phone, which was a trademark owned by Motorola. On the second list, you have a styrofoam cup, a popsicle, a thermos, a breathalyzer, a Ouija board, and a jet ski. So all of these are actual trademarks owned by various companies. So good answer, Vikram and Ladis. So 2 points and 1 point between you. And we move on to the last question of this quiz. So before I reveal the last question of this quiz, I would sincerely request you to kindly fill out a feedback form which I have mentioned in the description of this video. It is a 5 question feedback which would enable us to improve this quiz and make it more accessible for you every time we have a set prepared for you. So request you to please spend a couple of minutes after this quiz is over and fill out the feedback form. So here comes the last question of this quiz on your screens now. Owing to their names, what would you find common to the logos of the football clubs from the Spanish cities such as Aviles, Burgos, Coruña, Deportivo, Gijon, Jaén, Mallorca, Oviedo, Santander, San Sebastian, Sevilla, Tenerife, Torrelavega, Valladolid, Vigo, Villarreal, Barcelona, and Madrid? And time is up. Let's have a look at the right answer. So, this is indeed the word Real in all of their names, and therefore you would find a crown in their logos. So, very well worked out by a few of you. So, the answer was indeed crown, which is what I was looking for, and not Real, which means royal. The first to get it right was Vishesh. 2 points to you, Vishesh, for that lovely answer. And Ladies Washroom and Joel D'Souza come in second and third with 1 point each. So the other clubs which have are Real Celta Vigo, Real Betis, Real Sociedad, Real Espanyol, Real Valladolid, and Villarreal, which has Real in its name as well. So all these clubs except for Espanyol are currently in the top flight of the La Liga. So points between Vishesh, Ladis, and Joel. And with that, we come to an end of today's quiz. Let's have a look at who the winners are. So, winning, all right. So, coming in at fifth position is Vikas with 4 points. In fourth is Bibin with five. Ladis comes third today with 6 points. And as runners up for today's quiz is Joel with seven. And winning with an emphatic lead right from the start of the quiz is Adhish with 9 points. So well done, all of you, and well done, everyone who participated and answered. Good, good answers by a lot of you today. And with that, we come to an end of this quiz. Thank you for participating. Hope to see you all again in 2 weeks' time, again on a Sunday evening at the same time here. So have a great weekend, all of you. This is me signing off. Good night.